Yeah. Well, and that just kind of leads me into what you and I are planning together. You taking your feedback from having run a number of total immersion swim camps and been to Bobby's camp, and I think you've run some of your own tri camps. Is I'm one of those guys that I know how to put on a training event, first class, when the stakes are really high, from my Army time, and I love planning them and resourcing them. And then, even in the Army, I rarely did a lot of the work for the training event. As a commander, my job was to get the bullets to the range and to get the soldiers there and the transportation. And then I would let the really smart people, which were my sergeants, do the training. And then I just used to love watching it. And it was fun to, I guess that's my personality type carrying over to business is I have no interest in showing up at this camp and doing any coaching myself. And I will
Don't let Sam coach you.
Yeah, exactly. I will give a few talks at the camp, because what I would like to talk about at the camp, and we'll just run through for those listening who are interested in the camp that we have coming up on with Mark Allen, is just run through my philosophy on the camp and what I envision it being, and then your philosophy is the one that I'm going to actually make execute it, what you think it is, and we might actually get into some disagreements about what you think you should be doing. But no, I mean we'll talk through it, because I think I just want to lay out the philosophy and the what we're trying to do, because I have had a lot of people, podcast listeners, have come up to me here and ask me about the camp and say they're interested and they want to learn more. So I just thought I'd kind of get that out there, because it is an opportunity for me to pay you and bring you in and let you deal with the people that are on our list who really want that top level of immersion and want to take things to the next level and take all the podcasts and the live events that they've been watching and lock it in. And then after the camp, and this is the really cool part, is I've got Endurance Films filming the camp live. Danny and Eric, I just can't wait to see Danny in front of a camera, filming it live, streaming it live for those who aren't at the live camp, and can't afford it or can't take the time to travel or whatever, can actually buy a week's worth of like Tri TV from us, where we're just going to have Danny on camera, Eric filming, making a ham out of it, and filming everything that you're doing and all the training that we're doing, so that people can experience it virtually, the next best thing. So
I picture Danny as like the Geraldo Rivera of triathlon. I want to see him out there live in severe weather, and we may have to stage some things, get some big hurricane fans and have people throwing buckets of water in front of it. Danny can be saying, "We are here live at Triathlon Research Training Camp."
August in Boulder with Danny. There could be some interesting weather. So we might actually just call, the weatherman or God and say, hey, we want a severe windstorm or something like that. But
send it on the way.
Yeah. So Danny and Eric will be filming it, but what we're going to be producing, and the reason I'm filming it, is so that people who go to the camp, you're going to be drinking from a fire hose of the best knowledge in the world of triathlon, and I know you're not going to absorb all of it. So what I wanted to do is create a very detailed video record of that camp, so that people can get that learning and watch it for however long after you need to. You need that. You need to be able to go back and watch, and you'll be able to see yourself on camera doing the drills and other things, and just say, wow, that was so much. I may think I got 5 or 10% out of it, and let me spend the next year unpacking it, because you're watching it knowing you were there.
Right.
Which is a totally different experience.
Yeah, and I think by having things, I experience this every time I do a total immersion camp, especially the coach training camps, where I have the opportunity to set up the camera and mic the coaches and get it on film, and then, put it into our TI resources for the coaches and our students. But years later, it's been 2 or 3 years since I've been doing coach trainings. I still go back and watch some videos of, a specific talk that I remember Terry giving, or a specific way that Dave Cameron taught a specific skill. I still go back and watch those things. So it's sort of embedded in my memory as an experiential point in time. But to be able to reference that and go back and replay that memory, it's like having, automatic video replay in my brain. Except I just have to go find it on my hard drive. So
exactly. Well, and so let's just dive into. I've developed, and I always do things big, I've developed a 6-day camp, which I think is the longest camp I've seen out there on the market. But I've developed a 6-day camp from 24 to 29 August, a Sunday through a Friday, where we're bringing in Mark Allen, Terry Laughlin, the founder of Total Immersion. Bobby couldn't attend, sadly, due to his commitments with USA Triathlon, but he recommended to us Jay Johnson, who's a Nike national champion running coach, who's coached people into the Olympic trials and is just phenomenal resource, like Bobby, on the biomechanics. And I like to call it building the running chassis, like building your body so that it's durable and you can run more efficiently. And he's huge on core strength and things like that. So we'll talk about it. But I'm bringing this whole crew together because I reckon that most triathletes don't need a camp for fitness. If you're motivated enough to pay for a camp, you're probably pretty disciplined and you're doing most of your workouts and you don't need fitness help. Now, there might be other triathletes who are lazy, but they're not going to pay for a camp anyway. So what I think a camper really wants, and I've spent the last 3 weeks on the phone with people who are very interested in the camp, and many of them have already signed up. Actually, we're already almost halfway to filling it up. And they all want help on... There's 3 main ways you can get better in triathlon. There's fitness, which most people do every week all the time. And then there's form and mindset. And that's, to me, the power triangle of improvement in triathlon. And we're all strong in one area and weak in another. And I think my hunch is that most triathletes, especially the ones that want to come to this camp, are not weak on training, but are weak on their form, their efficiency in all 3 disciplines, and they're weak on their mindset.